And today we are going to be heavy on the self-reflection vibe with my boy, the Compton Anchor, Donald Conley. So self-reflect and chill with us. Let's dig deep with DC. Hey, DC, Donald, all of it.
Miss Higgins. Remember on New Jack City, Miss Hawkins.
What about Kevin Hart when he did his comedy special and he said the teacher, Miss Green?
Mm-hmm. My mama told me to tell you.
So, see, we ain't even started yet. So, okay. So, Donald, welcome to the Intentional Healing Podcast.
Thank you.
So the way we have it broken up, we have 2 healing sessions. So the first session is all about your identity and how you see yourself. And all of the questions are related to that. And then our second healing session is all about reclaiming your power, right? And so since we're looking at self-reflection and connection, we'll look at those 2 different things in different aspects, okay? So,
okay.
Since our mics sound nice, check one.
Check one.
What we start off with is some questions just to get you warmed up, let people get to know you a little bit, right? So you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. What's your favorite color?
Green.
Green? Why green?
Color of money.
I
like to wear black though as a color choice, like in clothes mostly, but green is probably my favorite color then. 7-Up is my favorite soda.
Yeah, love it.
Green.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your favorite song?
Gloria by Enchantment.
Why that song?
I don't know. It's just one of them songs that just always been like in the back of my mind, like since I was a kid, probably about, I don't know. I got a few. That's a hard one, but like that's the one that popped in my head. Like Love Masquerade is another one. Like, you know, I got them oldies.
Yeah, you got them oldies going on.
But Gloria, I think, is the one that like hit me, you know what I mean? Like anytime somebody talked to me about like my favorite, that's the first song that pops in my head.
I like that. Yeah. So, I love when people tell us their favorite songs because then it makes me want to add it to my playlist unless it's garbage. And I just say, I listened to it. Nah. So
you know Gloria though, right? You've heard that song, Gloria by Enchantment.
Which one, Gloria?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
That reminds me of that other song, Girl, You Know I Love You.
Oh, that's the most beggingest. That dude right there was in pain. was that Lenny Williams? Lenny, yes. This is a song by him, and then I'm gonna take this off.
Go ahead.
What's the other dude name? Anthony Hamilton.
Oh, which one? Charlene?
Them is the 2, them brothers need counseling. This brother said he didn't shave, he ain't washed the bag, and then you go back and Lenny done talked to his friend, but his friend ain't telling him. He's like, maybe I ain't been in love. Like
I've been in love. She put it on Lenny.
Yeah, I don't know what she put on Lenny, but I don't want it. Whatever it was, I don't want it. I don't need it.
So out of those 2, you rather go with Gloria?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Gloria. I can't stand no begging man. Pause. I can't do it. You begging too much, champ.
Okay, look. We just finished an episode where we lit that feminine and masculine energy, right?
Okay.
So those men are just more in tune to their vulnerable side.
I get it. You could be in tune, but you don't got to let the world know. I mean, you should be in tune.
Might help somebody, because he said he gets lonely.
We all get lonely. I get lonely too. I get it. I'm not gonna win this debate, but I'm just saying that's one of them songs that you should like. And I mean, everybody knows it. When he gets to doing the you can be in a room with 100 people, and I guarantee you 99% of them will go right along with him.
But what if that song was a complete freestyle? What if he just went in the studio and just start singing?
I bet he did.
Yeah, because that sounded like a freestyle song. Because he said, "Then I cried." I was like, "Woo!"
I wonder. Like a lot of times, do these guys have any idea like they got a hit on their hands? Like when they play it back, like, oh, that's him. You know, like I don't know.
What if he don't even like that song because he remember the space he was in when he made it?
Facts. I hate that bitch.
Can't stand her raggedy. Yeah. Oh, she stank too. Okay, so.
But she really got to go.
Yeah, her pH is off. So when we talk about movies,
some beet juice. All right, I'm done.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, shoot. King of New York.
Why King of New York?
I think because King of New York like predates everything, you know. Boys in the Hood predates New Jack City, predates all. I mean, it came after Scarface, but I was a little bit too young for Scarface. So I remember my cousin sneaking me to the movie to go see it, but I didn't get it. I just, I didn't understand. I didn't know what cocaine. I didn't know none of that was. But I was old enough when King of New York came out, and I liked Larry Fishburne as a young actor. I like that scene when he went there and ordered all the fish. You ever seen King of New York?
No.
You got to watch King of New York. It's like a young Larry Fishburne. That's where Biggie Smalls got when you always talk about the black Frank White.
Right.
So the main character in the King of New York is Frank White.
Okay.
It's Christopher Walken.
Okay.
And it's funny because I'm horrible with actors' names, but like older actors, I know their names. Yeah,
Okay.
But yeah, King of New York is fire though.
Put that on y'all watch list because
Yeah.
we're gonna be on lockdown for a while. So
Pretty much.
yeah. People act right.
Yeah.
So King of New York, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, that's cool.
And if it's not good, you're gonna get a text message that says what you got me watching.
I think you'll like it.
I probably will.
Yeah.
Is there violence?
It's gritty. It's a lot of violence.
Okay,
It's
then I'll
gritty.
probably like it.
Yeah.
It's a good way. Violence, controlled violence, if there's such a thing, is a good way to release aggression and
Nate
frustration. And so
Shout out to Nate Robinson. Hope you feeling better today, champ.
he did his best. But like I always tell people, find like a rage room. You know how they have those rage
I
rooms?
want to go to one of them.
Yes, just to
But here's the
get
thing.
it out.
I'm not going to pay somebody to destroy some stuff. Like, I'm not going to go to them because I'm thinking, I'm almost certain that it's pretty pricey to go in a room.
When we could just go find. Okay.
I'm not going to go. I mean, because you think about it, they got to restock stuff. It's probably not very.
It's probably just trash. We could have them come to Compton, get a lot of this stuff that's on the side, take it to the rage
old
room.
TVs,
all of that,
refrigerators, couches, yeah.
all of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all they do. They just beat it up and
And just do what they do.
I'm cool.
Okay. What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
You are Aries.
But here's the thing, though. I'm an Aries on the cusp.
Cusp. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're on
so-
cusp of Pisces,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. My birthday is March 21st.
That
so
explains a lot.
So yeah, so I got that like that sensitive, irritable, not bowel syndrome, but it's just I'm just like a sensitive. I don't know what you would call me.
I don't know what
Like,
I would call it either, because
I
I'm
don't
sensitive. Just
You don't get sensitive.
Nah,
with me, huh?
nah.
Man,
I get
weird.
passionate. I get funny. I get irritating. But I
I'm
don't.
irritating. Like wait, I irritate you. You mean?
I knew you was gonna do that. I knew, but I'm messing with you.
I'm good with that though.
No, if you irritated me, we would have no conversations. You would go straight to voicemail.
You would just love me to just irritate you more.
So that explains. I'm a Taurus, and so
I don't know many Tauruses. I don't think. That's how you.
yeah. See, but I'm a balanced Taurus.
How you know? Somebody told you that?
Because I'll hit you then hug you, so you get both.
Who the hell? Sound like my mama. My mama used to do that. She'd whoop my ass and then talk about come and give me a kiss. For what? I'm upset with you.
That is true, and you shouldn't have to kiss somebody after they harmed you.
She didn't harm me. She just whooping my ass because I was disciplining me. I don't think it's the same as harming.
That's harm, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all right. I probably needed more ass whoopings myself. Tell you guys all the truth.
Probably needed more tight hugs. So, what is an interesting fact about you?
Ooh. I give you one that's safe.
Why you say so?
I give you one that's safe.
What's
Did I
the
ever
safe
tell you
one?
that I was in the Olympics at 10?
No.
I never told you that?
No.
So I was in the closing ceremonies of the 1984 Olympics.
Doing what?
Breakdancing.
Get the heck out of here.
Remember Lionel Richie was doing, they did all night long?
Yeah.
With those few hundred kids?
Yeah.
I was one of those kids.
Get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
You remember your moves?
No.
Did you spin and do?
Yeah, I did a little something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? You do not strike me as a dancer.
No, I honestly loved dancing as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened, we ended up moving from Compton to Lakeview Terrace for a year. My mom was seeing this cat.
Okay.
And we went out there and we stayed out there. And thank God, that was like my entry to breakdancing. I was already kind of breakdancing. It was kind of hot then.
Right.
But it got me out of the hood, and it was like a different. So I remember they had this tryouts for this. I didn't know what it was for, but I remember we came out here for World on Wheels, and I was really breaking, going hard, whatever. And I'm 9 at the time,
Right.
and that was the semi whatever qualifying round to get to if you were going to be in the Olympics, and there was another trial.
Okay.
And so I was that they picked me, and it was cool. You know,
Dancing DC.
Yeah, but you know the thing about it is like I came back when we moved back to Compton. Sad but true that my homeboys wasn't dancing. And that wasn't cool.
See, but my uncle and them was dancing though on the east side. They had their little puff coats and they Adidas.
I mean, we tried. I remember trying to break the cardboard out and do whatever. But it was a different era at that point in time, and it was
by the time you came back.
Yeah, it was like that ain't what we do.
We moved on from Run DMC to NWA.
Dope boy.
Yeah.
Dope man. Yeah, that's me.
That was
my
it.
Song. Yeah, that was it. Remember that was supposed to be in my speech.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I remember that.
They made me take it out. Like, you don't say that in the speech.
Copyright. We can't have you.
Oh, that was true. They probably would have came at me.
Yeah, we got to have clearance for stuff like that on TEDx.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Now I'm going to have to listen to Dope Man in the car. Okay, so what 3 words describe how you feel right now?
Grateful. Grateful for one, for sure. I try to just concentrate on the grateful. Because then I might say worried. And then somebody that really knows me would be like, why the hell you saying worried? Because what we've been on lately, or not lately, but you can't pray and be worried at the same time.
Well, you can. It's just not helpful.
Yeah, so let's see. Grateful. I'm always fired up. Is that one word?
If that's how you feel right now.
Yeah, I'm always like charged. Like
charged up.
Like ready to, ready for everybody. I guess not everybody to see my vision, but like let's like get in the same page. So I don't know. Grateful, charged, and at the same time, I just try to just remain humble.
Okay.
Just be as humble as I do. No matter how much I am the shit, I just try to just be like humble, like because I feel like that's more important than the contrary. Like you can think you are XYZ, but then 10 other people feel like and those 10 people could be in a potential position to help you. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel like you this one way, and then these people have an adverse look to you, it's like so I don't really care what people think per se, but at the same time I'm mindful of like how I try to carry myself, but that all I think that
sounds exhausting.
Yeah, it's vulnerable. It's vulnerable. It's at least a vulnerability. So yeah, it's very kind of exhausting.
Yeah,
I don't sleep very well. I'm always moving.
You're a busybody.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? A lot of people who are busy or can't sleep is because their brains are activated because they may have experienced a trauma or experiencing something that they haven't addressed. And so what it is to avoid addressing that, they distract themselves with being busy or always on the phone or always doing this because it allows them to distract themselves from that for which they are not ready to face.
I agree. That would be, I try to stay mindful of what's going on and try to be present.
Yeah.
But I could see where, prior experiences have kept me to, put those walls up. And
well, you've had a lot happen within this year alone, so that could be another thing as well. So
things.
Yeah. So East Side or West Side?
West.
Thick or thin?
I'm thick. What? You gotta figure it out.
I threw that in just for you. I always look to the sound engineer when I ask questions because he'd be over there cracking up. So that's why that East Side, West Side, thick or thin. You didn't know I was going to ask that one, huh? Okay, so now let's get into segment. Let's get into the thick of it.
Okay, good segue.
Yes, see?
What if I would have said thin? Well, we got to get to the skinny of it.
Yes.
Okay, all right, bet.
There we go. I'm quick with it.
You good.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so when you think of happiness, what is the first thing, event, dream, or person that comes to your mind?
My daughter.
Your daughter. And why does this make you think of happiness?
Yeah, you go to so sensitive shit. Because of everything that we've gone through, you know what I mean? Just it's funny because we're working on some friends of mine. We're working on trying to tell the deadbeat dad story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And just to have that negative connotation, and if you're like me, you're sensitive like me, that bothers you,
right? Because you do your best.
So, my daughter, May 26, 1998, day she was born, and not knowing a name for her because she was supposed to be a little boy, and then coming up with Danielle, and it just kind of fitting her as it does, and yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Ain't no cameras on, right? Motherfuckers see me.
There's a camera right there. We're recording.
You make sure you keep it wide.
Well, whenever you get around me, things are different. So I'm just,
Shout out to Snoop Dogg. 19 Crimes. I'm just trying to change the subject.
I know you are. Okay. You ready for the next question?
Whatever.
What is the biggest lesson you have learned from your past?
Just stand tall, like regardless, even if you make a mistake, just stand by it.
Mm-hmm.
Just go through every motion with intent. I think sometimes you might not have the best intent, but if your intention is for your own, whether it's to push yourself forward or pull somebody with you, I think just having the intent just makes the world a difference.
Intent, intentional. Okay, that flows.
Man.
But when you think
really? Wow.
It's divine alignment. It's good. It's good. Yeah. But when you think about this and what you just stated, how has this impacted your life? Like when you think about the biggest lesson that you learned from your past, how does this impact you currently and how you do things currently?
Well, like I just remember just being a real hothead kid, like in even a hotter head, like a young adult.
Mm-hmm.
Even with my military experience, just charged, but non-directional, just moving, just revved up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've made come to a lot of forks in the road. I think I might have made a couple of turns that I didn't need to.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you come to another fork in the road that might realign you back to where you should be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that just early on, I made rash decisions based on a great deal of emotion,
mm-hmm.
And not being able to, not being in a place to actively express them or having someone to cultivate how your understanding of what your emotions are, and then and then just lashing out. And I remember my grandmother, rest in peace, she said at one point in time she couldn't deal with my rage. I was at a point in time I didn't even know what rage was.
Right.
She was like, but then as I got older and I reflect more on like who I was and what I've gone through and what I've taken people through. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, there were days where I operated through like blind rage and I did things that just didn't make sense. And I still have things that I'm still paying for today. Mm-hmm. that were based off of emotionally based reasonings and just things that just didn't make a lot of sense. And I don't. You don't have no regrets about it. It's just like, it is part of your story.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like, if you could do it all over again, what would be the pivot? What would be the modification? What you learn? So.
Yeah, but what's interesting about that? When we think about you as a youth or any person as a youth who has that's usually the result of something else. And so sometimes we lack emotional regulation because we may have been traumatized, or there could have been some experiences that we were exposed to, and what it did, it flooded our brain and a part of the brain that helps us to control ourselves. So a lot of those things that you describe are probably things that were not in your control.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, my pops, I grew up, my pops was in the pen pretty much all my life.
Right.
And that was, that's one thing, but I feel like I know other people that their pops was in the pen too and they turned out fine.
That's what I'm saying. It might have been things biologically.
Right. Not even a mental. I hear what you're saying.
Right. So the way the brain is impacted by experiences, right?
That makes sense.
And so that what I say that to you is that you can release ownership over something you had no control over. It was a biological experience. And so even if you were to do it over, if those same variables were in place, you would still react in the same thing. Right. So right now, you are aware of it, and it just takes time to relearn and retrain the brain to respond differently to experiences. So you being intentional and recognizing it is the first step. But it just sounds like you were in a place and probably was exposed to some things that your little brain couldn't handle. And so instead of saying, I'm hurt, I'm angry, I'm upset, you just acted out in rage because a part of your brain that controlled emotional regulation was flooded with stress hormones.
Oh, yeah. That sounds about me. I had a guy come in the shop the other day that known me like all my life. Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, there's a shop full of people. He's like, y'all don't know D. Y'all don't know D. I remember because he just saw me on the news when about the shooting.
Right.
And he was like, man, I'm sitting up here looking at this. And if I didn't know better, I would say this, that, and the other. This guy must have had to go in the house when the street lights was on. And he was on the up and up. He said, but no, I know. I know. I'm like, bro.
Like why you got to come up here and tell my business like that? Like, what happened to no names and keep it to,
It's a different era, right? Yeah.
Right, because people talk too much now. Okay, I have one more question. If your body could talk, what would it say?
My body? Mm-hmm. As if my body could talk. Mm-hmm. What it would say to me or what it would say to the world?
What would it say to the world based on what you've been through? Because we're looking at self-reflection, right? And the sum of your experiences. And if your body were to say, I'm hurt, I'm happy, I'm healing, what would your body say if it could talk?
I'm thirsty. No, I don't know. That's a good question. I think I would say more or less the lines of, I'm trying.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. And it doesn't hurt to try, does it?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you to your body for saying it's trying. Yeah. This episode of the Intentional Healing Podcast is sponsored by Dragonfly Designs. Get arted by Dragonfly Designs as they take you from amateur to professional artists with their guided instruction. Host an in-home or virtual paint party with your family and friends. Book your party today by visiting www.dragonflydesigns.com. That's www.dragonflydesigns.com. All right, Donald. Okay, so that was my freestyle.
I was like, where are we going with this? My head started to bob. I like
I saw you vibing too. What's going to come next? So now we're going into healing session 2 when we look at reclaiming our power. So right now we're just looking at self-reflection, reflection of self, how we see ourselves, things that we've been through and things of that nature. So as we roll into this second segment, is there something you want to change about yourself? And how will your life be different if you change this?
I mean, there's a lot of things I would like to change. It's just prioritizing which ones make the biggest impact daily. You know what I mean? Hell, I want to change my financial status. But that's not as serious to me as be changing my daily interaction with people, you know, my managerial skills, you know, it's like, you know, my business building skills like that. So I guess, I mean, I have a laundry list of what I would like to change, but I guess the trick is finding which one holds the most weight. And then hopefully they will, you know, they kind of like link to the next one and then make it easier for you to, like Mike Tyson said something last night, I mean, you know, in the fight, and he was saying how he loves to be down. Like he likes to be down so he can build himself back up.
Okay.
He said this the trick is to be able to do it and then to continue to be able to do it. I'm like, that's kind of almost a scary, but it's a warrior. It's a warrior
mentality.
And I understand that, and I understand what he means by that. So it's kind of like for me, I have a lot of things that I would like to maybe not change but evolve, and that that come from different times and spaces and what different scenarios, what I'm dealing with at the time. I mean, I could be having a conversation. I find myself like with the kids in the shop now. I'm a lot more. I've always been cool, but I'm a lot more. I think the word would be I'm trying to speak more positivity into them, regardless of how like whatever type of mood they're in or whatever. I'm just
Right.
So I find like that's like something that I've changed where I don't allow. For myself to get frustrated by, the crying or the, just the different, or the parent. The kids don't frustrate me more than the parents do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
I can see that.
and their inability to, effectively, correct the situation.
Right.
But so, I mean, to answer your question, I think there's a myriad of things that I would like to, work on, but hopefully those all like they work in tandem, that they could go ahead and they could, one to build it like a snowball effect. One could build on another and so on and so on and so on, I hope.
Yeah, because a few of the things you mentioned were external. So what about internal? So when I ask, is there something you want to change about yourself or evolve about yourself? I'm looking more for internal things with you as an individual. So you did a great job with describing the way you've shifted your interactions with the youth. Right. And so when I say, when I asked, what do you want to change? We're going to say evolve. 'Cause I love the way you said the word evolve, because we're all evolving as we continue to grow. Right. So when you look at yourself on an individual, self-reflective type of vibe, if you can change something internally or evolve internally, that can ripple effect to all those other things like better finances, better managerial skills. What will be one thing that you really want to evolve within yourself in order to make all those things happen?
Patience.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, patience.
And
Just in general.
How will your life be different if you were able to have more patience?
I think when the contrast to being impatient creates impulsive reasoning, I believe. And so when you're patient, you're able, I believe, to deduct things a little bit more clearly than a rush sense of.
That makes sense.
And I think that, like you spoke on earlier, it's trauma based. And so if you've been used to, reacting, I think that's what you'll do until you choose not to anymore.
Yeah. I like that. Go ahead. What keeps you dropping nuggets?
All
right, we got that. Go ahead.
It's the wine.
It's the wine. It's that Cali Red. Okay.
Snoop Dogg. Okay.
So shout out to Snoop for the Cali Red.
Yep.
What do you want your legacy to be?
Strong. That's I'm gonna leave it at that. Because I mean that's a loaded question. Like I mean for me it is. I just want it to be a strong legacy. Just, something that I help somebody. You know? Strong. Like, Somebody told me years ago, like the most important thing on your tombstone is the dash between the day you was born and the day you die.
Right.
It's the smallest thing, but it's like the most important thing. So
Right.
I think I want my legacy. I mean, hell, you've helped me. I'm a TED Talk speaker. I mean, wrote a couple of books. I mean, that's kind of a decent legacy for a kid from Compton, that grew up gangbanging, selling dope, and tripping, being disobedient to my mom and my grandma.
Right.
That's kind of a cool little legacy. But I still feel like there's a lot more to go. Hell, I want to run for mayor. Run for mayor for Compton. That
would be an interesting. I would love to see your campaign
Conley for
slogan.
change. We already got it. We already got it. Conley for change. That part right there. No slack for nobody. I'm just saying.
Get down with DC.
We already been talking about this. I'm just trying to raise the bread. You know what I mean?
So, you know what? That's good. So, running for mayor, right? Have you ever thought about running for like a council person?
Yeah, they told me I need to do that first before I just jump off and bite the whole thing. So
absolutely.
Once I get the business kind of like on an autopilot, if that at all possible, and I could, because I mean, the truth of the matter, I know it sounds kind of like, like really hopeful, but I would like to be in a situation, if that was my reality, that I wouldn't take the city's money. Like I wouldn't want to take a salary.
Right.
I would want to just take that and allocate those funds to do different things that the city might need, because I'm already balling. You know what I mean? That's how I would take it. Not to say anybody, however they've done it in the past, is incorrect. I just think just me being from here and me being like, just knowing some of the background on how politics have done or have happened out here. It's just like I think that would be something that the community needs to see, and and I think that would be impact. I think that ripple could be heard across the world. You know what I mean? I think that would be one of the steps in just shedding a positive light on what we can do here.
Okay, so that
lofty dream, but I'm working.
Why do you do that?
Do what?
Whenever you say something good, then you minimize it in the next statement.
I don't know. I don't mean to.
Cause you was like, I want to do this, and you said, well, hopefully, right. I want to do this, but lofty.
That's kind of like I remember. What did you tell me? You told me, I think at one time you said, stop apologizing. And I had to really start, like, damn, I really do like apologize a lot.
Right.
So yeah.
Can you stop minimizing too?
I'll do my best.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I want you to receive whatever you say. So if you're going to have your shop on autopilot, it's going to be on autopilot, right?
Right.
If you are going to run for city council person, then mayor, then that's going to happen. And what you want is going to happen, because now your business is on autopilot. So now you can focus on that. So we're going to say that and let it be it.
Namaste, amen, all that.
West side, east side, all of that.
That part. That part.
Gang, gang.
That
Okay.
On hood.
I don't know, because you from the west side. Okay, so.
Get me over here.
I'm like straight east side over here. So, what do you need to forgive yourself for?
Wow. That's deep. Doubting myself, probably. Yeah.
If y'all could see me over here saying tabernacle.
Church.
Everything you set your mind out to do, you've done.
Yeah.
I mean, you own a business, right? You are networking with some wonderful people, right? I mean, you did a TEDx. You are a speaker. You wrote books. You are rebuilding relationships with people. Everything you set your mind out to do, you've done. So, yes, I'm so happy that you said you need to forgive yourself for doubting yourself. Because you are like the poster person for actualizing your life. Did you keep doing it?
That was heavy, girl. Shit. Who is she talking about?
It's true. It's true.
Thank you, Veronica. No, you know what? You've helped me a lot, though, for real. And that's not. I mean, we've had some real candid conversations. You sat me down and recommended real good books to me and yelled at me, scolded me. But no, I have to, especially in this year, I'd have to, give a huge thanks to you and what you brought to my life too. So I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for receiving it, because there's a couple of times you looked at me like, I don't know who she talking to.
That part. I still look at you like that sometimes. However, I trust you. I know what you're telling me is right.
Oh, and I'm just happy you receive it, because guess what? Donald is dynamic, but Donald will give you a hard time, and I don't mind people giving me a hard time, because that means I just need to step outside my box and do better.
I'm cooler than the underside of the pillow.
That pillow be hot. Okay, what or who inspires you?
What or who inspires me? Damn. Honestly, as crazy and simple as it might sound, life inspires me because I figure like if you hear,
Mm-hmm.
you got an obligation to do more. And who would inspire me? Probably would have been Mama Cuz.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, she held it down.
She was always there for you, still there with you.
Right.
Okay. And when you think about your life and how the trajectory of it continues to shift a certain way, right? How do you see yourself in the future, like a year from now? Let's say you and I are sitting down having coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about, oh, this has been a crazy year. Who would have thought that you'd be here right now? What would we be talking about? Where would you be?
Mm. I don't know. Where would I be internally? So I mean, that's like a question I have to answer with like a story. So when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
I was a class clown,
Okay.
but I didn't want to be a class clown. It was just kind of like my defense mechanism because I thought I was a funny looking kid. I was short, and so I like to make people laugh. But then that turned into me like now getting to the rage, and then that so. But I always wanted to be like the quiet guy. I always wanted to be like the guy that didn't say a lot. I want to be the guy that listened more and talked less. And that's what I see myself as, just becoming like somebody that just, when I say something, it's like, you gotta take him for what he's saying because he don't say a whole lot.
Right.
So I would like to be at that place where I'm a lot more not introverted to the point where I'm not accessible,
Right.
but where I'm more concerned with my own dialogue, my own internal dialogue, and how I translate that to other people.
Okay.
That's what I would say on the, my internal, like, then, like in life and just, my existence with people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would like the shop to be extremely successful, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to continue to advocate for, positivity in the city.
Right.
I mean, I would like to be, I don't know, I would like like you said, my strong connections to continue to, manifest and I mean, it's funny because people, sometimes I tell stories and they were like, I was telling a guy, I was like, yeah, I was having a conversation with 50 Cent. He was like, what? Huh? What? I said, yeah, 50 told me you can't pray and word at the same time. He was like,
Right.
wait, who? You said, and so it's kind of like, it's funny because when those conversations become like, just like my regular day conversation,
Right.
it's like, that's when I feel like, because I used to get real worked up when I got into those rooms with those people and stuff like that. And then I had a conversation one year backstage at the Grammys with one of these guys, and he was like, he was a artist management or something like that. And I was kind of, you could see it, I was kind of like shell shocked, like, the fuck is going on? And he literally said, yo, man, if you're here, you're supposed to be here.
Exactly.
And I try to keep that mantra daily, even when I wake up and I get to the shop and it's kind of like, oh, I don't know this. I mean, I might have 3 appointments on the book.
Right.
Bills are still coming in. But it's like, yo, you here, you got action, you're up, make it happen. So
Right.
next year, I like to be doing what I'm doing now, just even better. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can see it happening. I know it's gonna happen, but I just want you, when we set a goal, we have to speak it into the universe. And before we speak it, we have to see it. So what I actually was trying to get you to do is visualize for yourself what it's going to look like, so that way you can speak it. Because what you did, you kind of did this, like you was thinking about it, and then you said it. So this is how we actualize and manifest. So by seeing it, you are able to speak it. And by speaking it, you take ownership over it, which means you can move forth in it, which means this time next year, you're going to find yourself more emotionally grounded as you navigate those circles, as you navigate your business thriving. So you've already spoken it, so now it shall be done, right? And that's a process of claiming and owning things. So I did that on purpose to get you to actually visualize, speak it, and so that way now it's been put forth. And so when we are having this conversation next year, I'm like, remember that time on the podcast? And I was like, yo, Donald, what you got? You like, yeah, V. And we'll be celebrating some milestone that you've accomplished. So,
agreed.
Yeah, so this is
Cheers to that.
Yeah, salute with my beet juice. Bam. So now.
Left me here with this whole bottle of wine.
Let me tell y'all something. I don't drink, not by choice. I miss getting a little bit tipsy, but
this is something I didn't know, so I bought a bottle of 19 Crimes Red, Cali Red to the party.
Yeah,
and it's about 1 in the afternoon.
Hey, they drink in Italy all the time.
And and I'm a lightweight. If you don't know, I'm a lightweight. So this right here, I'm done for the day.
But thank God you have somebody to take you where you need to be. But yes, I don't drink because I have an autoimmune disorder, and alcohol causes inflammation.
Got you.
Yes.
So I'm an insensitive bastard that brought liquor to the party.
No, you just was somebody who didn't know better.
Thank you. Thank you for the person that was over there shaking their head. Yes.
So now you know, and it won't happen again.
It won't happen again.
Right.
I'm bringing alkaline water to all our events.
See, look, alkaline. I love my alkaline stuff. So with my chlorophyll in it. Okay, so how do you tap into your power? So let's say after you sat and you self-reflected and you thought about stuff, how do you tap into your power so that way you can move forward?
Getting up and doing it.
Action-oriented.
You just got to get up and do it.
Good. I like that.
I mean, if it comes, the proprietors of this beautiful space could, they could say it as well. They know it's like if it comes down to painting a wall yourself, or pulling up the floor yourself, or nailing a nail in the wall, that's one step closer than you having to worry about somebody else doing it for you.
Right. So being action oriented is like, okay, I can't wait. Let me just tap into myself, figure out how I'm going to get it done so I can move forward.
Yeah, because if you think about it like that, you could even put yourself in a better position to disseminate the responsibilities.
Okay.
But if you don't get up and do something, you're gonna still wake up. I mean, that's me preaching to the choir, because I'm horrible like that with bills. If you come to my house, you'll see like a stack of bills like, Donald, you had. So one of my homeboys told me a couple of weeks ago, he had me cracking up because I'm trying to take this philosophy. He was like, cuz, if you was in that place, you be busting down every piece of mail that come in the house. And I'm thinking like, so I've never been to prison, but I've been, I've done some other stuff, but my military experience,
right? Mail
call was an important thing. And there was no way in the world nobody was not going, you to get a mail, you're not going to open it up. So anyhow, bills.
Yeah, you got to approach that. And I've been to jail, and getting mail is very important.
Absolutely. No, I
get it. You need to know, but paying bills is also important.
That part there.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember I got into a big fight with one of my cousins because she didn't write me when I was overseas. Like, what are you talking about?
So imagine people on lockdown.
No, I get it. Like I said, I ain't never been to prison, but I definitely got me a county kite.
When you think about that as well, being action-oriented and paying bills, right? Anything that has to do with money, we have to think of it from an abundant mindset. True. So just say, I'm just so happy and grateful that I have money to pay this bill, even if it's a portion.
You're right.
And what it does is switches your brain to say, oh, I can pay this bill, right? And then you pay it, as opposed to bills just piling up, and then you start to get stressed. And I don't know if I said it during this podcast or the last one, but stress is fear. And the fear is that you fear that you can't do it. So that's where stress comes from. It comes from your fear of. So are you afraid of spending money on something? Are you afraid of this? So we always have to shift our mindset.
Afraid that you can't get it back.
Right. But you always get it back because you operate from an abundant mindset. Right. So you always gonna have money coming in, and you'll always have abundance. So you have to pay those things in order to attract more.
Right.
So we got a positive money mindset. You never know where it's gonna come from. Then you be like, well, dang, there we go.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Somebody drop a bunch of ones off at you. You be like, I don't know what I did to get it, but thank you. Okay.
I'm not dropping it like it's hot. That's the one thing you can rest assured. I'm not doing that.
So, Donna, we're getting ready to wrap up.
Right. Bet.
This sounds like one of our conversations just off camera, period, huh?
Pretty much. Nah, because it get deep.
Yeah, and I used to use some cuss words, so I did good.
I did all the cursing today.
It's good. You was being your authentic self, but usually I have to give Donald the look and the talk. Okay. Okay, Donald, are there any final thoughts that you want to leave our listeners with?
Yo, just be good to yourself and be good to the people around you. That's good to you.
And that's coming from the Compton Anchor. All right. Oh, let me tell people why we call him the Compton Anchor.
Yeah, why do you call me the Compton Anchor?
Dion started calling you that.
I know, but why? Like
he said because you solidified everything during the TEDx, like your energy, your personality, plus your military experience, right? And so he always said you were the anchor that grounded everything.
That's dope. I appreciate that. Dion's a great guy.
Oh, he's an amazing man. And when we would have our rehearsals are like just like a family reunion.
Yep.
There was just so much love in the room.
Yeah, he came out the other day when you guys were doing the talk.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped in for a second. He was rattled though, because you could tell he was busy. You know, I know that day. I remember that day. He was on one. He was like, I'm looking for somebody.
Yeah, because he was like, we'll probably ask him to go look for somebody. Because let me tell you, when we are in motion, we are in motion. Yeah. And but no, you are the Compton Anchor. So we appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
We try our best, honey. Where can our listeners find you?
Oh, I'm at 312 West Compton Boulevard. That's Barbarism the Shop. On Instagram, I am Barbarism. Twitter, at Barbarism. Facebook is Donald DC the Barber Conley. Yeah, I'm pretty accessible.
Yes, he is. Come and get your hair. Look, my sons are loving their haircuts. Because I ain't never seen them take care of their hair like that. Donald just dropping knowledge and they like, I was like, okay, I ain't got to do nothing but bring them back. So thank you for dropping that hair knowledge on my young kings.
Thank you for bringing them.
Yeah, they'll be back too because they need some lineups. Okay.
You got them.
Thank you, Donald.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing space with us today. Remember, your words have power. Use them to heal, not to harm. Take time to reflect, to connect with yourself. As always, be intentional with your healing, my loves. Until next time, bye.